In this lesson, we are going to generate a book cover using an online graphic design tool. Before we get started generating or creating our cover, a quick recommendation. Create all the information that you need for your cover. For example, I have created a blurb that describes the book on the back cover. I have also created an author bio, keeping it very simple in our example. And I have downloaded a photo that I hope to use on my back cover design. I'm going to close this off. And another quick note on organization. I strongly suggest that you organize your files. For instance, I have the zipped and extracted file that we generated on KDP. I want to create a new folder called Cover, and I am going to move the relevant files into this folder. So I'm going to move the extracted file with the paperback information, the zipped file into Cover. I am going to include my author bio, my author picture, my blurb that I've written. So now my cover files are arranged. To quickly recap where we stand, in a previous lesson, we generated a cover template using KDP's website. We downloaded the template, and that downloaded file includes a PNG and a PDF document. We also took special note of the full cover size. The dimensions of the full cover is important when creating the online document. Let's get started. We're going to jump to our website called Canva. And Canva is an online graphic design tool. I want to create a design, choosing a custom size. Where it says width and height, I am going to enter the dimensions of the full cover. I'll copy and paste this information, highlighting it and pressing Ctrl and C on my keyboard to copy the width, Ctrl and V to paste, and then I'll go and get the height, 8.25. In the drop down for the measurements, you want to be sure that you have inches selected. And once you have inches selected, you create a new design. Onto this new design, I want to upload the PNG document that KDP created for me. To quickly run through Canva, there are tools available to me on the left-hand side. There's an option for uploading your documents. I want to upload a file. I've chosen to upload a file. Inside of Docs, I want to select the PNG document that KDP created for me. I'll select that file. Once it has been uploaded, I will add it to my workspace, repositioning it and scaling it so it fits the document workspace. I could now access all the tools that Canva includes, placing them on the front cover, placing them on the back cover. We could also upload the ISBN that we have generated. Working with an online graphic design tool could be a little bit challenging because it may not include all the features that a desktop application may have. If I want to zoom in to the bottom here, I have options to zooming. I'll choose 75%. You could always zoom in and out. So our book cover is made up of the front cover, the spine, which in this case is so narrow, we may not be able to include text regarding the title, the author's name. There's the back cover. We've already gone through design principles for a cover, so you could refer to that information. To quickly recap, remember our cover is made up of imagery and it's made up of typography. Our cover should communicate the dominant mood of the book. Let's start by adding text for the title and the author's name. Men and Misfits. An online graphic design tool is limited It may not include easy accessible features for hiding different layers as you generate them. So if I wanted to see what this front cover looks like, it may involve me resizing the document to give myself room. So I've added the title. We'll get to choosing the fonts in a bit. I'll add the author's name, repositioning it as necessary. I have an idea that the imagery should reflect a sort of Western tone. Let's see if I could find a font that communicates a Western theme. To the top of the toolbar in my graphic design tool, I have options to select fonts. Some of these fonts are free. Any font that has this icon next to it, a yellow circle with a crown inside, is not free. You will have to sign up for the pro version of Canva. If I type maybe Western, there's Chunk 5, Silver Fake. I could experiment and see what they look like. In a bit, we will talk about free images that we could use. I'm just experimenting for a bit with the free fonts. For now, I'll work with Chunk 5, increasing the size of the text, making sure that it fits within the safe area of the book. Similarly, with the author's name, I will choose Chunk 5 and increase the size of the font. Do I want it on 2 separate lines? This creative choice here is yours. If I want to see how the front cover looks, I could resize the template, bringing it off screen. White text, white background. Image editing software that you have on your desktop may include options to hide or show layers easily. On the back cover, I want to include the blurb. Let's create the blurb or the book description. I'll add a text box. Let's jump over to our docs folder to retrieve the blurb. I'll minimize this page, enter the cover folder, open my blurb. I'll highlight and copy this text, which is our blurb, go back to Canva and paste this information, resizing it as necessary to fit. In Canva, if you click and hold an element, you have options to drag it. Notice the lines that appear showing me that the text in the blurb aligns with the top of the text on the front cover. My font size is 12. Let's try another font for the blurb. I'll look for Garamond, which corresponds to the text inside the book. It's currently set to size 12. Let's resize the template information from KDP and see how it's taking shape. What's missing is the imagery. Let's add the author bio and the ISBN information. We'll start with adding the ISBN. Go to Uploads, click on Upload File, go to the cover folder. Oh, I forgot to add the ISBN to the cover folder. I'll copy that over. So the ISBN information is now in our cover folder. I'll choose the ISBN. It's uploading. And I have the option to add and resize this ISBN file to the space that KDP permits. In Canva, when you want to see how your cover looks without the template, you must resize your template. Let's add the author photo and bio. You would recall from our lesson on the back cover that the author's bio, the ISBN information, goes on the back cover, the bottom quarter. So I need to upload my author photo. Once it's uploaded, I'll add it to the back cover, resizing it to suit. We could crop this image or add it to a frame. Let's crop it. Edit photo. We have effects. We could adjust. We could crop. Crop freeform. And I'll scale it down until I'm satisfied. Done. As I move this photo, I'm giving consideration to elements on the front cover. For example, I will align the top of my image with the top of my author name on the front page, carrying it across until it is aligned with the text on the back cover. We could further resize the image. Something to bear in mind is the distance of the image to the border of the book. Let's add the author bio. Inside my cover folder, I have my author bio information. I'm going to highlight this text, copy, and we'll paste it inside of Canva. Let's add new text and copy and paste the text we just copied. I could carry this information to new lines, and now I want to realign it. Reposition as necessary, closing in the margins to match. Let's ensure that this text is center aligned with the author image. And maybe we could change the text font, resize text, see what fits, what works. Using size 15 here may be a bit too big when compared to the text in the blurb. Sometimes your online graphic design tool may be limited in that it doesn't allow certain alignments, whether it's fully justified. Let us resize the template, see how that looks. The major elements are there. So we more or less have our text for our front cover and our back cover. On the front cover, there's our text for the title, the author name. On the back cover, there's the blurb, there's the author bio. Let's talk about imagery, where you could find photos. There's a website called pixels.com. Regardless of where you find your photos, you want to be sure that you verify the license agreement. What is allowed, what is not allowed. For example, I could use images from Pixels, but I must modify it. So be sure to go through the details of the license agreement. One of these short stories is called In the Desert. It's a story about an American Indian man sitting on the side of a road that leads to the Grand Canyon, and he's sitting under a Joshua tree. In a previous lesson, when we spoke about cover design, we introduced the idea of including your protagonist on the front cover. These are images that I could download, modify, and include on my front cover. This is a very interesting picture. For my cover, I want to find a photo of an American Indian. I'll scroll through the options. I'm looking for an image that demonstrates the tone of the story, bearing in mind that your front cover could be a combination of images, illustrations, and shapes. I've found an image that I want to use. I'll click free download. Once the image is downloaded, I will save it into my cover folder. I've named it front cover. Then we'll go back to Canva, upload files, choose the image. Once it's uploaded, I could click on it. It's added to my workspace. I'll position it as my front cover and resize it. I'm going to resize Canva, position my front cover so that it hides the dotted lines that form the spine. With my image highlighted, I could resize it. You always need to double check the dotted lines that form the spine. I'll zoom in a bit more and use my keyboard arrows to reposition. I just want to barely hide those dotted lines. Let's zoom out so I can see the entire work area. Something you'll notice is that the image, the background color, has hidden the text or part of the text for the title and the name. We'll deal with that in a bit. I want to add a new shape, a new rectangle that forms the back cover content as well. If I go to Elements, I could choose a rectangle. Let's resize this and change the color to white. You'll notice that it hides our image. we will adjust that layer to suit. I just want to change the color. I've changed the color and I want to change the position, sending this to the back. So I'll send it backward until my front cover appears and different elements like my author, bio, and picture. If I send it back one more, the template that we've used appears. So I'll bring it forward. I feel like this bottom left area of the back cover is blank. I want to add the publisher information and the website. I'll click on text, add a text box. We'll reposition this. We have the opportunity to resize the text. This could easily be your website. We could bold this text. We could left align it. Let's adjust the color of the text for readability, bearing in mind that your final color choice influences or should reflect the tone of your book. We'll adjust the text, changing the color. You could play around with the font size. And similarly, we'll change the font color for the author's name. Do I want this on one line? Do I want to change the font size so that it doesn't clash with the title? Do I want to decrease the size of the font? Do I want to position it to the left-hand side, center, or right? I'll adjust the size of the title, Men and Misfits. I'm adjusting the author's name so it is aligned with the title to the top, and it's also aligned with the ISBN on the back page. Again, this example does not include spine text because in this instance, the book is too thin. Bear in mind that online graphic design tools are limited. Bear in mind that different graphic design tools have different functionality. Bear in mind that your cover is the thing that is going to attract readers. If you are not a graphic artist, feel free to employ the services of a professional because you want your book to stand out